Welcome to r/relationship advice. Here's today's story. 25-year-old male's ex, 25-year-old female, of 6 years ran off with a married man and is pregnant. I firstly want to start this off by saying thank you to everyone in the community. I have lurked on the sidelines for months reading other stories and seeing others open up and share their vulnerabilities, and it really helped me through a tough time, so I want to help others and give back with my story. I'll keep this as brief as possible. My ex and I met at university when we were 18 and had a good relationship for 6 years. Everything was going well, and we bought a house in December 2019, and to celebrate we flew to Thailand on New Year's Eve for 2 weeks. When we came back, she acted very distant, would go to the gym most evenings, go out drinking with work friends, or would go to bed early. For 2 weeks she was like this. I would say what's up, talk to me, etc., and she would always just shut down and say nothing. Until finally one day she broke down crying and said, "I thought you were going to propose to me in Thailand. You don't love me enough. I'm not happy anymore. I need some time to find myself and figure out what I want." She left and stayed at a friend's house. I was in complete shock by all of this. I didn't realize it had been playing on her mind, and explained that I wanted to get a house and our life sorted before getting engaged, and that I was planning on proposing this year 2020 once I'd saved up the money. She said it wasn't good enough and wanted to break up. A day later took all her items out of the house while I was at work, sold her car and moved to a new town an hour and a half away. I thought this was strange behavior and didn't add up, but put it down to high emotions and her wanting space. Like a switch had been flicked, she completely turned on me, told me I was a horrible person, attacked my character, said I was selfish, told me I treated her like crap, I didn't give her the attention she deserved, etc. As you can imagine, this really upset me. Being broken up with someone is hard enough, and you usually blame yourself anyway, let alone the other person blaming everything on you. And when the person who you think knows you better than anyone in the world tells you all these negative things about you, you believe every single word they say, and it put me in a very dark place. I thought, well, she knows me better than anyone, so she must be right. And weirdly it made me want her and want to fix things even more, like by getting her back showed I wasn't a horrible person, and they were just upset words she said at the time. I needed that validation. She stopped paying the mortgage, told me she wanted to sell the house ASAP and didn't care about losing the £12,000 in early redemption fees, sales fees, etc. She told me if I didn't agree to this she was going to come and take all the items out of the house and make my life as difficult and uncomfortable as possible. She turned so toxic and there was so much venom coming from her, and I really didn't know why. And yet I still kind of missed her. I decided to open up to friends, family, and see a therapist, which was the best thing I ever did. I was always taught that as a man I had to keep things in and resolve things by myself. But this whole thing really messed with my head and put me in a very dark place. We have been broken up 9 months now, and I recently found out that she is 6 months pregnant with a 36-year-old married guy from work she used to be friends with. When I questioned their friendship in the past because they used to always text each other, she said that they were just friends. Feeling happy and secure in my relationship, I believed her. I now realize that she was at the time having an emotional affair, and maybe a physical one too, who knows. All the time I was reading these books, listening to relationship podcast, going to the gym, working on myself both physically and mentally to try and be a better person and partner, to give us an opportunity to just talk and see if we could work on things. She was off with this married guy who she told me not to worry about. I felt like such an idiot for letting this person have such an emotional control over me and wasting months of my life missing her. I realize now that her behavior was simple projection. She chose to blame me for everything to try and justify her own behavior. How you can be with someone for 6 years, buy a house with them, cry that they didn't propose to you, and then completely turn on them and go full toxic, and then be pregnant with a married man's child all within 3 months, I will never understand. People tell me I dodged a bullet and it is a good job I didn't marry her, which I am sure they are right, but I still can't help but miss her and the past we had together. Because this new girl I don't recognize anymore. I love this girl so much, I don't understand how I could be so wrong about a person. This was my first real long-term relationship, so I didn't have the tools, life experience, or know how to deal with it. So why am I sharing this story? Because mental health is bigger than me, and if me sharing my story and my vulnerabilities helps just one person reading this know that it gets better, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that if you need professional support, please don't be scared to get it. I am not 100% yet, but I am getting there. I realized I was mourning the future life I thought we were going to have together. I still will never understand how someone you've known for so long and have been best friends for years can just switch up on you like that. But I've also realized it is none of my business anymore. The healthiest thing you can do is wish them well and move on, pursuing your own happiness. You cannot seek closure, Accepting what happened, staying positive and moving on is your closure. Now for some comments. Bro, you didn't dodge a bullet, you dodged a grenade. Of course, you took a little shrapnel, but you didn't get hit with the whole thing. Sadly, I wish a lot of young men didn't have to learn about the shady women out there the hard way. The crazy thing is, if you did propose to her and got married, she would have been leaving with half your money right now. Next comment. You're so lucky. You're right, you mourn the life you imagined. Everyone lives in their own imagination and experience, and when those things mesh it works. When they don't match, it's this nightmare. So glad you found out before you had legal ties, or children's lives. Next comment. Your story just reminds me of my favorite quote. Not verbatim, but Lestat de Liancourt said something like people never truly change with time, they only become more truly who they really are. Your ex didn't really change, she just showed her true colors. Next comment. Thanks for sharing. I do agree saying you dodged a bullet. I hope you find a good and positive person. Take care. Next comment. Oh wow, you dodged a bullet. Sounds like you never knew the real her. If an adult woman wanted to get engaged, she could have at least brought it up, and not thrown a 2-week tantrum followed by a psychotic break. Does she not speak English? Also, I think she was cheating on you. Emotionally, if not physically. Next comment. I know this may sound hard but honestly you seem like a good person. You are better off without her. I was in a relationship for 5 years. I was not ready for marriage and kept telling my ex that. He ended up getting deployed and cheating on me with a girl he told me was just a friend and lesbian. I felt lost and he made it feel like it was my fault that happened. I took time on myself. I went to therapy and women's support group. Tried things I always wanted to do. I was happy. She will most likely go back to you when she finds it convenient, trust me. When my ex came back to my life after a year, even though he got another girl pregnant, he wanted to get back together. I did not give him the chance to ruin the new person I grew to be. Trust me. Continue to work on yourself. You are still young. You deserve better. Next comment. Your future is ahead, my dude. You are young and there are so many better people out there. You will find someone who will love you and respect you. This will soon be a bad memory. Also, if she comes crawling back, don't take her back. She ruined everything, not you. You have the opportunity to become an even better person, my dude. Take it. Hope you are doing well and stay safe. Next comment. When I read things like this, it solidifies my decision in never wanting to get married, as there is so many crappy people out there who can turn on you out the blue like this. I'm a 33-year-old female. I'm really sorry this has happened to you, but honestly in 10 years this will be a distant stain in the back of your memory that you will no longer worry about. It will just take time to heal from. Wishing you all the luck in sorting your house affairs out. Next comment. You are very lucky to be so self-aware enough at your age to dodge this nuke of a lady. There's a world of lovely folks out there who actually know how to be decent enough to end things with at least a little grace and kindness. Best wishes to you. Thanks for watching.